onto Outer Drive. Go past this light, then at the next one, use the left lane to turn onto Southfield Street. At the light, use the left lane to turn onto Southfield Street, then keep left to merge onto M39 South. Use the left lane to keep left to merge onto M39 South. Stay in the left 3 lanes. In 2.7 miles, turn right to merge onto I-75 South.
are
south.
starting to show up. Security is ready. The cheerleaders were warming up just a little bit ago, so we'll have...
Use the right lane to merge onto I-75 south.
It is a little bit warm and steamy. Jim Costa is my partner today, starting off for the rest of the week. And this, just a few days ago, a former GM, Michael Lombardi, who has a podcast called the GM Shuffle, it's him and Adnan Ferg that are on this podcast, took exception to what is going on here in Detroit. Now, we all know Dan Campbell,
In 12 miles,
staff,
take exit 29A toward Gibraltar.
more than a few things that Dan Campbell has said, but the conversation leading up to hiring a coach and was going to be the roles that Chris Spielman was going to have. Where was he going to be? How involved with the GM was he going to be? How involved with the coaching staff was he going to have? Was he going to be? And Michael Lombardi started off his comments by trying to define what the culture here is in Detroit, and is Spielman crossing the boundary?
You know, people ask all the time, how do you know if you have a good coach? Like, how do you know if you have a really good coach? Well, there's examples of what your team and what people are doing within your culture. And one of the ways you know you have a good culture is everybody knows what their job is. And Spielman's job is not to coach the team. Spielman's job is really not to interact with the players. Spielman's job is to basically be a conduit between himself, the front office, learn the game, understand the game, separate himself, become an executive. You can't be friends with the players. If you want to coach the players, get on the coaching staff.
So, a couple exceptions that I have with that comment. We're going to have some more sound from Mike Lombardi, who is a former GM with the Cleveland Browns, now has the podcast GM Shuffle. I don't think Chris Spielman needs to learn the game. I don't think he needs to understand the game. Now, I know that the game has changed since he played. The game's changed since, a lot of guys have played, and but he has stayed in it by being in the broadcast booth. He has talked about it. It's not like he's been out of the game of football for a decade. All of a sudden, he's reinserted himself into the game of football, needs to learn the game. And I also disagree with the fact that he shouldn't get to know the players. Like, this is a guy, he's not the GM, right? He's not the owner. He's a special assistant to the owner. He is going to be advising Brad Holmes, who is the GM, on his opinion. You got to get to know the players. You got to get to know what they're good at, what they like, what they don't like, because when you're talking about building a culture here in Detroit, a culture of winning, a culture of being a hard-nosed football team, a tough physical football team, you've got to get to know those players. I mean, am I off base, Jim, in regards to where you need to utilize Chris Spielman, how he's being utilized? I know his role is not greatly defined to us, but we're not in those meetings. We don't know exactly what his job description is, or the relationship that he has with Dan Campbell, with Brad Holmes, with Sheila Ford.
This idea of culture, right? That's the buzzword in there. There's more cuts talking about Spielman's involvement in the team. I think if you got a guy who you hire to be part of your football team, you use them in the ways that they are most effective. And Chris Spielman was a hell of a football player. He was working with some of the linebackers, the position he played. I think you'd be out of your mind not to use people's strengths after you hire them. But I do wonder what his role is within the team, because you don't want too many cooks in the kitchen. You don't want one guy coaching him this way when the actual coaching staff is coaching him another way. If everybody's on the same page and everybody knows, and Chris is in the box that the coaching staff is comfortable with, fine. If he's in the box that Brad Holmes is comfortable with, fine. But where it's a weird dynamic is he played a role in hiring these guys, but ultimately they need to be the ones that dictate what happens with the football team, right? Ultimately, you hired them to do a job, and if he's filling in as they see fit, I've got no issues. If he's running rogue because he hired him and he's in this nebulous, untouchable position within the organization, I get why you question, does this help our culture or not?
Well, Mike Lombardi goes on to talk about, Spielman maybe giving advice that's a little bit different than what he'd be hearing from his linebacker coach or from the defensive coordinator.
What he is telling those players may be contradictory to what Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator, wants to be teaching his players. There's no way any coach looked at that and said, oh, that's really good for the Lions. Now, fans think that's great. Fans think that's wonderful. Oh, look, Chris Spielman, he's so knowledgeable. knows what he's doing. He's been a great player. Oh, God, he's really helping. No chance. No, that's not what he's supposed to be doing.
Well, so first of all, we don't know what he's supposed to be doing. But second of all, that could be the case.
Well, but if you want him to coach, and I think Lombardi says this, give him a coaching job, right? If you feel like he is most valuable to your organization, working on the defense in some sort of hands-on capacity, because there's a case to be made that might be where he's best served in the organization. I know his brother is more of an executive with the Vikings. I think he aspires to more of that role. At least that's how this offseason makes it seem. So you can't have your cake and eat it too, can you?
Well, you can.
Does it work? Does it work? Because that would be the question.
So,
You can, but does it work?
But again, it goes to what is he talking? So he's, I think this is all in reference to he was having a conversation with Derek Barnes. This is how this
Purdue
came up.
linebacker.
Yeah, the Purdue linebacker who's a rookie, and I think he could be a terrific player. And you look at it from Derek Barnes' perspective, right? You get
he's got a
drafted by
star
the
on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Chris Spielman is coming in and sharing some of his experience. Now, if he is talking about X's and O's, and he's not been in the linebacker meetings, or he's not been in the defensive meeting, full team meetings, doesn't necessarily understand the ins and outs of this defense, of the calls, then if he's talking about X's and O's, that could be an issue. But if he's talking about, this is my experience when an offensive lineman comes out and takes me head on, here's how I would play it, here's how I would see it. I also feel that there's a great value in having Chris Spielman talk to the running backs, talk to the offensive linemen, the tight ends, the quarterback, in regards to when a linebacker is doing this or showing this. Here is...
But isn't that scheme specific? Don't you want your guys doing specific things based on what your looks are?
But there's reaction.
There's not a one-size-fits-all.
There's not a one-size-fits-all, but there's also a reaction, all right? If he's talking to Penei Sewell, and Penei Sewell says, when I come up to this linebacker, I've always got a problem with him beating me underneath. What is it when you were playing that you had a hard time with when an offensive lineman did this?
There's no doubt you can learn stuff from Chris Spielman. There is no doubt about it. I don't think Lombardi even disagrees that you can learn stuff from Chris Spielman. The question is Chris Spielman teaching stuff that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell want him to? If he is, then I don't see there's any problem with this. If he's not, and the question there is, who does he report to? If he reports to Sheila, then he doesn't have to answer to Brad Holmes. He doesn't have to answer to Dan Campbell, and that's where you can get fracturing.
Right.
That becomes a problem.
And it goes to the relationship, like you mentioned, that Dan Campbell has with Chris Spielman, that Brad Holmes has with Chris Spielman.
It's got to be strong.
It has to be very strong, and those guys have to be. Eric Glenn has to be confident in what he is doing as a coach to even allow Chris Spielman to have those conversations. If he's confident in that, I don't think there's any issue with that. Do you have an issue with Chris Spielman's role, with him talking to linebacker Barnes? 248-539-9797. Let's go to Jeff in Canton. Good morning, Jeff. 97.1 The Ticket.
Good morning. So, Lombardi was the GM of what team again?
The Cleveland Browns.
And how good were they under him?
Hey, quick question. Chris Spielman was the coach of who and the GM of who?
He's not the coach. He's not the GM, so it doesn't matter.
Right, but he's doing the jobs of both. Nobody's trying to do the jobs of both, right?
But what is his job? Does anyone know what his job is?
That's the point. That's the point Lombardi's raising. He's special assistant to the assistant regional manager's friend, might come in and coach linebackers, might help us with returns one day, might screw some clients, might help with draft preparation, might be Chris Spielman, the motivational guy. I don't know. That's Lombardi's point.
That Spielman just made up his own position. No, the position was given to him. I'm pretty sure they sat down in a room and told him what his position is. And Aaron Glenn, for all we know, told him exactly what to tell these players and how to talk to them, not presuming that he's talking to them the wrong way.
Right, Jeff, you're exactly right. That we don't necessarily know the context of this, which is why I had an issue with Mike Lombardi, and I've got a lot of respect for him, in talking about Chris Spielman and his role. And again, thanks, Jeff, for calling. But this is a unique situation where he was brought in. Chris Spielman was brought in
Before these guys.
But players receive information. Everybody receives information in different ways. Aaron Glenn may have been trying to, get a certain point across to his is.
It might come better from Spielman.
Right, exactly. He might be getting his point across to Derek Barnes, and it's just not hitting home. Hey, let's have a conversation with Chris. Chris,
Stay in the second lane
if
for
I were to
right.
tell you this is the concept we're trying to get across. All right, Chris Spielman understands that. How would we coach, Barnes in a different way, Jelani Tavai in a different way to get this message across? Maybe Chris Spielman had something great to do that, or maybe it's just coming from Chris Spielman that all of a
Use the
sudden
right
Derek
lane to
Barnes
take
says,
exit
all
29
right, that
into
concept, I
Gibraltar.
get it. And that's there. So it could be that Glenn is using all of the tools in his toolbox to say, I'm going to use this individual, Chris Spielman being that individual, to translate a message that's not getting home.
Take the exit,
But if it comes from
then
Chris
turn
Spielman,
right onto
maybe it
Gibraltar
does. We're going to continue this conversation because we have more sound from Mike Lombardi on the other side of this break. You're listening to 97.1 The Ticket.
Hey you guys, now is the time to step up your
At the
sports
stop
betting
sign,
game with
turn
my
right
friends
onto
at
Gibraltar
BetRivers
Road.
Sportsbook. It's really an exciting time right now. We've got preseason football kicking off this week, and the start of the regular season is just around the corner. So it's the perfect time to start getting those futures bets in. And right now, BetRivers is offering you 25% profit boosts on any pro football futures bets.
In 2 miles,
All you have to do
turn right
is
onto
log
West
in on
Jefferson
Sunday from now until the regular season kicks off, and you'll be rewarded with your 25% futures profit boosts each week. Now, if you're new to BetRivers, let's get you set up with an account first, right? So BetRivers offers new users a first deposit match bonus of up to $250. All you have to do is use the code 250match at sign up. So go log in or create your account today via the BetRivers app or at betrivers.com. Detroit's hometown sportsbook, bet with a winner. Visit betrivers.com for full terms and conditions. Must be 21, playable in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Penske Logistics. You'll need extra drive time this morning as crews are still clearing up an earlier accident, 75 southbound near Lapeer Road. Drivers are getting by to the right side only with the backup from before Baldwin. When you text Penske Logistics, you have a chance to earn more than $51,000 in year one. Penske Logistics has part and full-time openings in Chesterfield and Romulus. Pick your path and text PLW1 to 25000. That's PLW1 to 25000. Penske is an equal
Stay in the
opportunity
middle lane.
employer. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Odyssey is your new home for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. In Tokyo, American Olympians rallied to overtake China for the most medals with 113 and the most golds with 39. 3 winning performances featured new world records, which may represent the ultimate expression of Baron Pierre de Coubertin's Olympic motto, faster, stronger, higher. En route to 5 individual and relay golds, Caleb Dressel bettered his own world record by swimming the 100-meter butterfly in 49.45 seconds. It was going to take a world record to win that event. We're close to it, Dressel said, and it hurt, but I had an opportunity and I went for it. Dressel later teamed with Brian Murphy, Michael Andrew, and Zach Apple to lower the world record in the 4x100-meter medley to 3:26.78. And on the springy superfast Tokyo track, Sydney McLaughlin edged fellow American
At the next
Dalila
light,
Muhammad to
turn
capture
right.
the women's 400-meter hurdles in 51.46 seconds. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Napa know-how. Right now, a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic motor oil is just $18.99. It keeps your engine from breaking down without breaking the bank.
At the light,
Yep, a
turn
5-quart
right
jug
onto
of
West
Napa
Jefferson
full
Avenue.
synthetic for $18.99 is not just a great deal. It's the break you've been waiting for. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Napa know-how. At participating locations does not include state local taxes or recycling fees. Advertised sales price may not be available in some states. Offer ends 8/31/21.
Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift
Turn
card
left
and
onto
a chance for a
Cambridge Drive.
VIP Pro
Then
Football
turn left
getaway.
onto Windsor
Gear up and
Drive.
raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
Have you experienced basement leaks? Water is more than annoying. It can cause damage to your home and fall
foundation, it starts at your roofline and can collect around your home, causing a mess in your basement or crawl space. Call Foundation Systems of Michigan. We are experts in managing water around your home. From gutters to waterproofing solutions, we have a full line of products to put an end to your water problems for good.
Get ready. Saving starts with Xfinity. Because when you get Xfinity Internet and mobile together, you can save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill over AT&T. Enjoy fast, reliable internet at home and nationwide 5G on the go, included at no extra cost. That means you can connect to everything you love, whether you're a next-level gaming aficionado, an online shopping mastermind, or crushing that research project. So go ahead, stream on all your devices or video chat from anywhere and save hundreds while doing it. Because saving starts with Xfinity. Get Xfinity Internet for $20 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile and ask how to get an eligible 5G phone on us. And for a limited time, $300 back. Don't miss out. Go to Xfinity.com/start saving. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Internet offer ends 9/7/21 and requires paperless billing and autopay. Restrictions apply. New performance starter internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Savings based on optimized pricing. Actual savings may vary.
Odyssey gets you ready for the football season with training camp coverage. Tune into Training Camp Live every week, live or on demand, for on-the-ground updates on top teams from NFL insiders. Plus, follow your team with daily podcasts from the Locked On Podcast Network and get coverage from your favorite local station. Find out who's hot, who's hurt, and who might just put your fantasy team over the top. Football season is almost here. Get your football coverage, plus your favorite local radio stations and podcasts with the Odyssey app. Download today.
If you're a man facing divorce or custody issues, don't take a chance with your future. Call the expert attorneys at Adam, 248-356-ADAM. 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 Get amped for big games.